Hello, everybody. It is Tuesday again. This happens every week, Tuesday. I've heard sometimes that there's like a week where a Tuesday gets skipped, but I've never actually seen that myself. And we're here tonight to play some Shadowrun. So welcome. Yeah, I'm Danny. I am the GM, and we are kind of at the tail end um, of SRM 0503, which is Gone Long Gone. And I believe that, Duryea, can we get a recap from you of what happened last week?
Yeah, last week we went to it's not the complex, it was a different building. We finally went to the building where the toxic shaman was. There was lots of planning and strategizing, and then we finally decided to go in. When we got there, after we peeped them out from like across the street, when we got there were people upstairs. We didn't get a chance to really find out anything about them because murder mayhem took place. A head was literally exploded. And it was not me. I did no exploding heads. But there was a head lost to the mist, as I like to say. The two spirits that I had attached to me served to be very useful. One of them kept the other mage that was inside so frightened that we didn't even have to deal with her or him. And the other one had a lot of good quips. And what did he do? Oh yeah, he killed two people, and no one knows except for Kaida and the spirit. But what happened was, like, once the head exploded, I guess all bets were off, and then we decided to go deep down into the dungeon of the building where we, encountered the shaman. Surprisingly enough, even though despite everything we heard about him, he did not attack us immediately. But he did have booby traps set up, and we may have had to encounter more booby traps, but there was no need for that. Because after I took a nerfs, of course, someone gave a smackdown to Flea, and Flea used her smackdown to negotiate a treaty. Essentially, you give us what we want, make copies. He didn't want to give us the I forget. I'm gonna say
the node.
The node. He didn't want to give us the node, but he allowed us to copy it. So we get everything we want, we fulfill our jobs, and in return, Flea owes him a favor. So, and then after that, we left. And I think that's where we stopped, is like we were leaving, and then right as we were leaving, Man Spirit told me, about the two dudes upstairs that got killed. And then I think that is where we ended, I believe.
That is about right. So, as you are walking out of the building, all is quiet. There's still music playing from upstairs. That never stopped. It's just some sort of like hard banging synth pop with just that repetitive banging techno beat. Yeah, it's job well done. But definitely time to call some folks and maybe see about making some deliveries and perhaps cashing in on the contracts.
Well, I guess I'll call Sarah since I knew her anyway. Kaida, if you want to call Lothan. Oh wait, I think we already did. Didn't we call Lothan? You're muted.
Yeah, because we were gonna
I already talked to Lothan.
Okay.
There was some smarty back and forth, but he told us
we were gonna go there first, right? Because he has a decontamination spell.
Yes, that is where we're gonna go.
All right.
Speaking of which, let's get back in the van, says Etienne.
Okay.
Sure. That sounds good to me.
All right, so you guys all head back into the van, and Gertrude just, starts her up and sends the team along.
No one needs any Band-Aids, do they?
Has any what?
No one needs any Band-Aids, do they?
We didn't take a single hit that round.
I'm just making sure. So I was just trying to look out.
I mean, I have
Although,
lots of iodine tablets if you're feeling bad.
And I forgot where I was feeling last session. So as you say that, Satchel, I'm gonna look at you and go. I think it's gonna take more than a few band-aids for that guy that you shot in the head.
Tim goes, yeah, that was a
Well,
good I mean, like, yeah.
Satchel kind of just like looks away and is like, kind of looks to Gertrude like, just about how many bandages do you think it would take?
I don't have those kinds of bandages.
Oh, okay. Well, see, he's kind of all shoulders and just kind of goes back into the corner and kind of like stows the revolver.
I mean, knowing
And then-
these kind of gangers, as we discussed before, one casualty is not too bad.
I just think it's funny too, because like he didn't even mean to. It's just that Danny rolled for him and rolled a fucking 17 to hit.
And then my two came in like an hour later, and it was like a 4 and a 5.
It was pretty wild, I will say. I mean, it's just a regular like bandage would work. But the real question is, are you applying it to the neck, or do you need to find like the rest of the head? And
I mean,
like a Humpty Dumpty.
I've heard you can have like cyber skull, but you need to find all the little bits and parts to put it back in there and reassemble them in the right order. I don't know if we can do that.
all right, well,
There's only so much
As-
super glue.
as this is being discussed, Gertrude then takes Darcy into the loop, which is probably the hardest place to maneuver in a vehicle, and it does take quite a bit of time to get to where you're going, which is Miller's Pub, incidentally. Yeah, so the group pulls up kind of on a side street, maybe half a block away, and Miller's Pub is up ahead. Doesn't seem to be a lot going on there, and doesn't seem to be too much going on the street. There's a few folk kind of just walking around doing their daily business. There's a barrel that's got a fire going on in it, a few people standing around drinking something and just kind of shooting the breeze over there. Yeah, just looks like a day in the loop.
Well, while Gertrude is safely navigating us through, I guess I'll give Sarah a call.
Okay. The comlink buzzes a couple of times, and then there's a pickup, and you see Sarah's face, like first, like right up close, and then she kind of backs off, so you kind of get the full sort of bust image of her. And Lee, hello. I'm glad you called. Everything went well.
Yeah, we got the deed information that you had requested. We weren't able to obtain the node itself, but we got all of the deed files from it.
Is that Sarah?
So
Satchel says hi.
So you don't have the node.
Not itself, but we don't have the hardware, but we have all of the information that you need from it.
That is, it's rather unfortunate. I was really
Is
hoping
the
for
information
the node.
not of value to you?
Certainly it is, but I believe we contracted for delivery of the node itself. I guess if perhaps send me the information. that you found. We'll look it over and determine our next step.
Mm,
No.
I can't. I'm trying to think of a diplomatic way to be like, um, well, and again, apologies that we weren't able to get it, but there was a property dispute, as it were, and we thought that the information was more valuable than no information and no note at all. So,
Certainly, I would agree with you.
and since the deed itself is what you needed from the node, and that information, I mean, you know what that information is. So why don't you talk to your people and give us a call and let us know what that's worth?
In the background, Satchel's kind of like, "Hey, do you know anybody in the gray market back there? Back there at the end?"
The
So-
gray mark. He's like,
The-
I'm listening.
I have that smile plastered in place, and I'm like, not helping.
The deed is, of course, important and valuable. The information, as I said, to determine exactly what value and worth that has, we would need to see it. Perhaps if you would like to stop and visit, and this way we can see it in person and make a determination at that time.
That would be acceptable. Let's hold off for a bit, though. Maybe meet tomorrow. Stop and decontaminate, since we were in a high radiation area, for our
Yes.
safety and yours.
Of course. Thank you.
I'll talk
And
to you
with
soon,
that,
Sarah.
it just clicks off.
Plus, we want to go see Maggie first, theoretically, anyway. So I bought us some
Right.
time.
All right. So yeah, there you are. The Miller's Pub is up ahead, and the van is parked. It looks relatively safe. I mean, people are just kind of out in a very casual manner. It doesn't seem like there's much worry or concern about gangers or other threats here.
I'm still
Um,
gonna lock the van.
Can I text Maggie and be like, "Can you meet us at Lothan's?" Was that the plan? I don't even remember if that's the plan where we were just supposed to meet anyway. So
Yeah, you can send that, and moments later you get a response that says, "Certainly, I can be there in an hour."
I give her a thumbs up emoji.
In the future, a thumbs up emoji can actually be like an ARO of your actual hand that spins around or something. Okay. Yeah, so that's settled. She's gonna come down and meet with you.
Kaida, do you want to go in and talk to Lothan ahead of Maggie getting here, since we've got his thing?
Sure.
I hand it over to Kaida.
So yeah, you've got it. So is Kaida then going in while the rest of you wait outside, or is everyone going into the pub? Or...
I'll go in. I'm there to support, but this is his contact, so he can take
I'm
point.
hungry, so I'll go in.
And we had
Right.
talked
Here's
about
a plan.
we talked about the decontamination spell too,
Yeah,
which is
for
Gertrude's
all of us.
primary concern.
Right.
Get one for me too. I'll wait in the van.
All right. So yeah, you enter the pub. Those of you who do, and it's got a few folks in there. You do notice there's a dwarf sitting at the bar, has a full cybernetic arm, otherwise is dressed in like coveralls. It looks like perhaps a mechanic. And
So the first thing I want to do is just switch to astrovision really quick,
Mhm.
just to gaze around the room.
Yeah, there's a few people. It's not, like I said, it's not very crowded. There's the guy sitting at the bar. He shows up as definitely having some missing parts of his aura that indicate the cyberware that he has, which makes absolute sense given that his whole arm seems to be a replacement. The bartender standing kind of back behind the bar is there. There's no evidence of anyone in the bar, any spirits in the bar that you don't otherwise see in the physical plane, right? That said, there is a lot of sort of ambient strands of color and magical auras that we'll go ahead and make it a sensing test. So you can't read any of it, but you do know what it is. It's basically the remnants of magic and spells and other things that have happened here, which makes sense given that Lothan's store is you have to come through the bar and head down towards the basement, and so every time magic happens, it leaves this sort of trail that you can read, that those who are good at sensing can read and get a lot of information out of. And that stuff sort of lasts for a few minutes to a few hours, depending on how powerful the magic was that kind of moved through.
So can I tell whether this is recent magic or not?
Well, it has to have been recent as a couple of hours ago, because it eventually does dissipate. So you know that. You can't tell if it was recent 5 minutes ago recent or recent 2 hours ago recent. And since you can't tell what kind of magic it is, so I mean, it could just be somebody walked in while they were having a detect life spell on, or an armor spell, or any number of things.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean anything untoward, and like I said, it makes a lot of sense just because Lothan's shop is downstairs, so
Right.
magic is probably moving through here all the time.
But I don't see any magic users. Great.
Nope.
So then, okay, I'll flash out of Astral Vision, and I guess you said it's downstairs, right?
Right, it's downstairs.
So then I'll go head downstairs.
Okay. Opening the door and walking down the steps, you don't see right away where Lothan is, which is odd because he's really big and wears flashy colors. But there's definitely a lot of shelves. There's stuff just kind of stacked here and about, and it's not the tidiest sort of storefront. It's definitely just as things come in, as things are created, or as people bring scavenge in and it's useful, it gets kind of put in places. So it's kind of like if you walk into like a local like military surplus store, and there's like a box and the pants are like all in the box, that kind of thing, right? Everybody that's never been to a military surplus store is like, so yeah, so everything's just kind of like it's just kind of grouped into themes or what these things do or are useful for, and then but other than that, there's not a lot of organization or structure to it. It smells of cinnamon, cloves, and something else that you can't quite identify. That makes the other scents seem a little off. But it's probably magical lodge stuff. His lodge is probably down here. So,
But I still can't see him.
no, you don't. Yeah, you don't see. I mean, it's a large space under here. So you might have to go like further in or look around.
Is it in the map?
Specifically?
Am I just not seeing? There it is.
No, we don't have this on the map.
Okay. Hey, Lothan.
What? Who's that?
Where you at?
I'm in the back. At the counter. Come back here.
Back there. Hey, Lodi.
It's you.
It is. I've never gotten such a warm.
warm
reception.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, I'm a real welcoming sort of guy. You're not dead.
I actually am dead.
No,
I was kidding.
not.
I'm kidding. No, I'm not dead. Wouldn't that be awkward though if I was?
Why would that be awkward?
Because how am I going to be standing here talking to you if I'm dead?
You wouldn't be, and I would be doing what I need to be doing. So, the other people you were with, are they dead?
No. They're upstairs eating, so they might be dead soon. But you know,
I don't know.
that was a joke about the food.
Oh, it was a bad one.
Somebody didn't eat their Wheaties this morning.
So, did you tangle with the founder then? Is this you telling me, hey, we couldn't get your thing, sorry, we suck?
Actually, no, we got everything we need. I don't suck. That was rude. And at this point, I feel like I told you on the phone that we were coming to get decontamination spells in exchange for the focus.
No, yeah, I remember.
Is that right?
Well, I get a lot of calls. The important ones I remember, and the rest I just whatever. You got to remind me again. So
hey, I'm just saying. So, do you want to teach me the spell, or do you want to do it yourself? I'm a proponent of you teaching it to me, so that way I'll have that in my arsenal, and then I won't ever have to do this again, because this is awkward.
all right, listen. I study books. You are lazy and slack off, but somehow get magic. So I cannot teach you the spell. You have to learn it your way, to beseeching the others. So, but I do have formula for you. I got a lot of formulas actually, but I'll give you the decontaminate formula along with the rest of everything. But where's the focus?
Well, the focus is upstairs because I wasn't really sure how you were going to act. And I guess I made the right decision. So, but now that we have a fair deal, I just feel like this. I didn't know how you were going to get down, so I didn't want to bring it down here because you might try to jump me or something. So now that we're all in agreement, now that we agree,
Words,
I'll go up.
They're hard.
They're not hard. They're just, I don't like you.
Great, but I don't like you.
Well, then we're even. So then, I'm gonna go upstairs to get the focus.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's
That wasn't
superficial.
to Lothan. Sorry, that was to the audience. That was Duryea speaking. My bad.
Okay, so yeah, you head back up and grab focus from whoever has it.
I had taken it from the place, so here
Hey,
you
Flea.
go.
Thank you. He's being Satchel. Come
What's
with
up?
me. Come with me.
Should we all go since he's supposed to decontaminate?
He's
Clean
not
up.
gonna do it. He's not gonna do it. He's gonna make me study and learn how to make the formula and so I'll bring back. I need a second set of hands. I think I don't know.
How long is that gonna take?
He didn't make it seem like it was going to take very long. I guess he's just going to give me a bunch of stuff that I'm going to have to go figure it out. That's the understanding that I have. But you know what? I'll get some clarity. Teamwork
All right.
makes the dream work.
All right, text us if we need to go down there to help you learn or to get cleaned up.
I mean, you can just watch, and then
I mean, if you want to come down, feel free to come down with us. I mean, I don't want him to feel like there's all of a sudden we had a tense interaction, and I don't want him to feel like I went and got reinforcements. I just need an extra set of hands to carry this. I don't want him to think I went gang, you know?
All right, so
Okay, then let us know when it's safe to come down. I'll finish my paint in the meantime.
Bet.
Don't
So then
don't let anybody drink my drink.
Bring it with you.
Good. You know what? You're right.
It's in the same building. Shouldn't cause any trouble. I'm busy watching something, and he just goes back in the air, and you see him looking.
all right, so the two of you head down the stairs again, towards the back. Lothan now had put on a robe, actually. So he looks like he might be heading out. Who the hell is this?
Satchel.
Hi, I'm Satchel.
I guess when I went
What the hell
upstairs,
kind of name is that?
and I whispered to Satchel, dude, I
mine.
told you he's hella rude.
I can see that. I mean, he's kind of like House. I'm kind of used to it. I'm just here to help. He was saying that you might need an extra set of hands. I'm hands.
I thought you were Satchel.
You can say that I'm
whatever,
both.
whatever. Flip flopping, can't think of a good name. You know, back in my day, But anyway, and he starts walking and walks past the two of you. Takes about 3 steps, stops, turns around. Well, are we going?
Oh, we're supposed to follow you. Okay, where are we going?
Yeah. Oops. What is that? Did you bring a drink down here?
And Satchel just kind of slams it and is like, yeah, and like I'll take it upstairs when we come back.
We're going upstairs now. We're gonna go.
Okay.
Wait,
You have
so
a van, right? You're not driving the van into the pub and down into the store for me to decontaminate it.
You're right.
you're decontaminating the vent. No, we're decontaminating. I thought we were decontaminating people.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, we're gonna decontaminate people. So we'll decontaminate you and Satchel and all your other little buddies that want to run around and play Shadowrunner. And also the van, because it was there too, and it has soaked up the radiation. And if I just decontaminate you and then not the van, and then you live around near the van, you'll just get radiation again. It's
Okay, so Kaida's kind of annoyed with this guy at this point. So he just texts everyone in the group, says, meet us by the van. And then he mumbles incredibly loudly, but like only loud parts are curse words. And he does this all the way to the van.
he stomps up, heads out. Looking around, as he's kind of walking through, you see this Flea and Etienne. If you're paying attention, you do see this large troll kind of moving through. You guys follow, or
Yeah, down my
Sure.
drink and follow.
all right? And then
then
Gertrude,
as we were-
you were staying out in the van, or where had you gone in?
I think I had gone in, but either way is fine.
Yeah. So yeah, all three of you see them. As he gets to the door, he stops very suddenly, almost causing Satchel and Kaida to bump into him. And then he turns around. The focus.
Push stop.
Here you go.
All right. So as you hand in the focus, he like reaches into a little actual satchel and pulls out a looks like a folded piece of actual real paper. And he hands it to you. That's the formula for decontaminate. I'm going to do this because it's probably going to take you like forever to learn that. But there you have it. So let's go. And then he turns back around and heads over to his van, or to Gertrude's van. Sorry. Looking
as
at
we're walking, as we're walking, I turned to Etienne. I'm like, he was really pissed off about me taking my drink, by the way.
Why? That means it's the same establishment. Shouldn't be
I don't know. It made sense to me. I just wanted to let you know for next time, man. Like, no, don't take drinks everywhere.
All right.
And I'd sneak the paper into my like a safe place, and I'd just text everybody like, just so you know, this guy's super. He's an asshole. That's not what I was gonna say, but that's what I text.
Right. As he gets to the van, he looks around. He looks at you. All right. Just stand about 3 meters apart, each of you. Right. Good. And then he just kind of stands in front of you one by one. Just kind of does a thing like this. And then to the next person, and to the next person, and to the next person. Kaida, if you care to look in the astral while he's doing this, you do see that he is casting magic.
Yeah, I want to look in the astral.
Okay, so you see that he's casting magic, but test, you can probably learn what he is casting and how he's doing it.
Okay, let me do that. Let's see. It's the die.
See what happens.
Messing with me right now. Be my friend.
You're so good at this.
It's definitely
sensing
magic.
is, it's okay. I don't know how to make it better, but it just is what it is.
So you just train it up. But yeah, okay, so you don't know what he's casting, but there's no reason for him to be casting anything but the spell, decontaminate. And then he goes up to Darcy, and then he actually, this time you do notice, without even having to roll sensing, that he puts more energy into this casting of it, which makes sense because
it's bigger.
And it's technology, right? So the more something is technology, the harder it is sometimes to actually affect it with magic. And so with that done, he kind of turns around. All right, you're decontaminated. Van's good to go. And also, if, like I said, the payment was 5,000 million credit in the store, I see that only 2 of you really can find use for that. So I'll leave it to you to sort of figure out who's gonna how you want to do it.
Who is he talking to as far as the 2?
He points at you and Flea.
Okay.
And so however you want to do that, because I don't care. And then with that, he just kind of starts walking away towards the
So he actually gave us money, or it's just
no. He said you got 5,000 million each credit in his store, but that
there's only 2 of us that can really use magical items.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so then I'm only going to use about half of that because I really don't like that guy, and I don't want to deal with him because if I keep having to deal with him, we're going to have an issue.
Well, then you just take $5,000 worth of his stuff and then sell it at the collective and then never talk to him again. You just take free stuff.
I mean, I would love a shiny new spell focus of my own.
Then you've got 25 G's. No.
Well, I'm
2.5 G's, right? It's 2.5 G's, right?
It's 25 total. 25 total, because 5,000 each. It's 5 of you. So if everyone gives them all to Flea, it's 25,000.
Got you. So it's 25,000 altogether. Half of 25,000 is 12.5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you. 9th grade.
12. Lothar would be proud.
Right. Here's yo. So you take 12.5 G's, and I'm gonna take the other 12.5 G's, and then you do what you want with it. And then
I'd love to I like start to calculate in my head what I have and what I'm going to get from this job in terms of new yen, and I tell the group, you guys give me the credit in this, and I'll just give pay back in new yen.
I mean, if you want to invest in the community around where I live, I'll take that as a payment. Doesn't even have to be 5K. I'm fine with it. Don't know much about magic, so I'm.
Yeah,
Fair
I was
enough.
just gonna give y'all my share of this anyway because I can't use that magic stuff.
I just feel bad that there's a cut of the job that you guys don't get.
We got to meet a cranky magic guy. That was kind of fun.
Yeah. Then like you negotiated with the creepy guy downstairs, and kind of your spirits spooked most of the ganger. I mean,
that sounds cool to me.
Kaida is very indifferent right now because he's still stewing over that interaction. And he's just really like pensive and quiet to himself.
As you are kind of talking and discussing that, car does pull up. Just looks like a sedan, just nondescript, sort of an off green color. Why anyone would want to paint their car that color, no clue. Except as a theft deterrent, maybe, because who would ever steal that car? But it does pull up, and the door opens, the driver's side door opens, and Maggie steps out. She kind of looks first to the pub, but then realizes that that's you over there. She goes, oh, and she hustles over. Hi. You weren't waiting here long, were you?
No, Lothan took us on a grand private tour and was such a generous host.
Yeah, he takes some getting used to. He's really a pushover at the end of the day. You just kind of gotta, shrug, roll your eyes. He often likes when people give as good as as good as they have to take.
Oh, well, then
And
he's
then-
in a special relationship with Kaida at this point.
And then you just hear Kaida from out of nowhere go, mm-hmm, real loud. Hits a can or something.
Yeah. So, but like I said, he's really a big softy, and misses his days, his youth of shadow running. And yeah, like I said, just give him what for. Don't take his crap. That's all, and he'll respect you for it. But in the meantime, the node, can I take a look at it?
So we've got good news and bad news. Bad news is we don't have the node itself. Good news is we have all the information extracted from it. So you can have your look through still and see what files you need. But in order to avoid a new crater in the Chicago area, we made a deal to strip the information or copy the information.
You made a deal with the founder.
Yeah, everyone was talking about like what an unreasonable and volatile, toxic shaman he is, but he seemed perfectly willing to work with us.
You must have had some edge or other. And sometimes I suppose the biggest predator doesn't necessarily want to get involved in a fight that, though they'd win, they could get hurt. That's death out in the jungle. I've been watching nature shows. I'm sorry. So, well, can we see? Let me look at the data then. I'd really like to.
Yeah, we're like standing outside on the street right now. you want?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, we can go in the pub. We can go, I guess, in the van. The van looks pretty roomy in there. or you could jump in the car. I mean, sometimes it seems a little weird to like get all squirrely about things. I found, but whatever's comfortable for you.
Well, Satchel said he was hungry, so why don't we go inside and take a seat and enjoy
Sure,
some
yeah,
time?
absolutely, absolutely. And with that, she turns to walk into the pub. Everybody sort of following. She sits down at one of the tables, kind of waves at the bartender. He nods. Yeah, so I've got him. He's going to bring a round over some menus, and then we can eat or what have you. And I can just take some time to look at the information that you found. That'd be great.
Has anybody been here before? I mean, besides like 5 minutes ago.
Nah.
Remember, we're all new to Chicago, so.
Hey, hey, Kaida, like, what's good here? You've had to be here before, right?
The food?
Yeah.
I don't eat this shit. No. No.
All
No,
right.
I'm good. But I guess I mean, look, I would say go for the veggies, man.
Because they do serve real meat here.
I mean, if it's terrible, we can just hit up a Nuke It Burger on the way back. If it's really not good food.
Okay.
You know, sometimes it can be okay. It's it's catch the day. And you know, people take what they can get here. But is someone handing over the data chip?
Oh, I guess I still have that. I always assume it's Etienne. Yeah. I pull it out of my one of my many pockets in my sleeping tiger and hand it over. And
Etienne was gonna raise his hand and go like, just keep. I guess you understand that for security, I'll keep an eye on you and what you're doing to said data while you're looking at it.
that was part of the deal we made anyway.
Yeah, that's fine. Absolutely.
Alright.
In fact, you don't. Here. Let me go ahead and you can connect now.
Okay.
So, all right. So you're connected to my comm link, and all right. So then she slots the data chip, and then she just kind of like scrolls. She's just mostly scrolling through, looking at stuff, kind of nodding. After the drinks are brought, menus are brought. Anyone who orders food does so. She's just still scrolling through, absently kind of drinking at the beer that was brought to the table. She's definitely lost in script. There's a lot of information, and so it definitely takes a bit of time. If everyone's eating in silence, we'll move on. If anyone has anything they want to say or do, feel free.
Is there any ketchup?
Soy ketchup, yeah.
There is on
Soy
like a
ketchup?
table over. Yeah.
He just gets up and goes get it.
Etienne is busy, like, half-mindedly eating and drinking his beer and watching what she's doing and what she's reading. Taking a little bit of time to get in some information too.
Okay. You do notice that she does copy certain files over into onto her comm link, and then she kind of puts them in a separate folder, and then just kind of continues doing this until eventually, after about half an hour, she's got because she's just kind of personally going through everything. She's kind of separated out everything that she thinks she wants. The information that she doesn't want is untouched, other than she kind of looked through it. And then the folder that has everything that she took out, that has like a copy of that, as she kind of takes out the data chip and hands it back to Flea, she says, so best outcome for us is if you were to delete that folder entirely and not hand that to Sarah. But I don't know necessarily how your agreement works with her, and I don't want to put you in a bad position. So I left it there for now, but that would be our preference, and I would appreciate that. Also, she reaches into her handbag. She pulls out a single cred stick. So this has the payment I agreed. So you'll have to slot it and kind of disperse it out. But there's 15,000 nuyen on that. And I really appreciate this.
I nod at her, and I'm actually kind of appreciative that she didn't give us a bitch fest about not having the node. So she goes up one connection in my book, or one loyalty in my book.
Yes. All right. So I need to get this over to MZT, and she just like slams the rest of her beer, stands up, and I hopefully maybe we'll find an opportunity to work with you later. Yeah, that it's been a pleasure. Yeah. And then she turns and heads out.
Nice to meet you, Maggie.
Yeah, it was nice working with you. And Etienne picks up the cred stick and looks it over, make sure it's all good and done, and there's no funny business. And if not, he slots it in and splits it out to everybody.
Yep. It's money's money. Money's there. It's in the bank now, or in your own personal cred sticks. Yeah, that had occurred. Easy peasy. Satchel has eaten his fill.
Oh, delicious.
I mean, it wasn't awful, but delicious. It is a spot, that I'll say.
Any meal's a good meal.
I'll kind of while he's finishing up there and like licking his plate, I assume. I'm gonna lean forward and to the others and be like, Sarah doesn't want to pay up. I'm fine with deleting the files.
I mean, the thing is that if they, what she put aside is the things that they don't want Sarah and her associate to have. If we present that to them and they don't want to pay, we don't give them any data. Now, the question is that do we present to them all the data or just the doctored parts that were without the parts that were put aside by Maggie?
Well, I
So
feel
basically, all of the stuff that was set aside by Maggie is anything that has to do with the research that was going on. Anything that she left has to do with deed, property rights, and like business administration stuff.
so. Here's my theory. My theory is that without the node, Sarah's gonna try to undercut us no matter what. So if that's the case, I'm fine with just deleting that file and presenting her what we've got, and we take that loss. And hopefully, like for the most part, if we accept that graciously, considering we weren't able to get the node, may not hurt our reputation with her necessarily. If we're like, hey, we got you what we could, and we, handle it with diplomacy. I intentionally don't look at Satchel and Kaida when I say that.
Sword diplomacy?
It's a lot of syllables.
The thing is, I think you did mention to her on your phone call that we had extracted all the data from the nodes. So if we presented incomplete.
Yeah, but what's to say that he hasn't moved the data, and like what's on the node is what's on the node?
That's a fair point. That's a very fair point. We can make sure that it doesn't look like we played too much around with it, and we can present that. Yeah.
This is what was on there.
Okay, let me take care of that. And Etienne is gonna slot this chip on his deck, and he's gonna remove the file from the chip, but store it on his deck.
Okay. That's easily done. The chip is yours. All that stuff is yours. So it's you just do it like people do on a computer.
And he's like changing the logs or like recopying the file to make sure that it looks like they're all in order and they were all copied one after the other and not missing parts.
Sure. All right. And so with that done, looks like everything's concluded here. However, you're supposed to meet with Sarah the next day. So
While I'm here, can I shop for spell foci?
you can indeed shop for a spell foci.
I'm gonna go with her.
All right.
I can't. I don't remember the. I know they're expensive as fuck, so I don't
They
know what
are
12.5k is going to get me. But
all right. So if you're looking for a spell sustaining focus, you can find one at around the price of. I think I'm here. A little too far. Vehicles and drones, and larger drones. Those are after the magic. Cyberware, then magic stuff, then vehicles. Remember that. So a spell focus is 4,000 per force rating of the spell focus.
now I would only need a force 1, right? Because I only have 1 spell to hold.
No. The force also limits the force of the spell that you're
Oh,
holding.
so usually I cast at force 4, so I would want a 4th level one, right?
Right. So at least a fourth, and then you could cast it at force 4.
And how much is a 4th?
4,000 per is how much that is costing.
So that would
cost
be
16,000.
16k. Well, with what I just got from Maggie, we got 15k, so that would be 3,000 coming to me, and I still have 3,000 from last time.
Yeah.
Done.
Okay. So all right. So you're heading downstairs, and as you're kind of browsing around and just kind of seeing what's down here, you hear kind of from the back, "Can I help you with something?"
Is that Lothan's voice?
Yes.
Hey, quick turnaround time here. We just met upstairs, but I want to turn this around and get a sustaining focus. Yours inspired me so much. It's so pretty.
He looks at you for a moment. A sustaining focus.
Yes, sir.
To sustain a spell.
That's usually what they are used for, are they not?
Hmm. Okay. The lady wants a sustaining focus. He moves kind of in towards the back, pulls out several items and kind of sets them in front of her. So, what spell are you thinking?
I going into a fight, I usually cast increased reflexes at
Okay.
pretty moderately strong one. I like to be fast.
All right, so he moves several of these items out, and then he kind of puts the rest of them away. So these are going to be suitable. And then let's see here. All right, so yeah, there's several different items he kind of places in front of you. So I think these will all work for what you are wanting to do. So other than that, it's whichever one sort of appeals to you visually, or that you want to. Yeah, I'll leave you to it. And he kind of steps away.
What colors are they, Danny?
I don't know. Look in the chat I sent.
Oh, you sent me a chat?
Well, not to
In
you.
detail.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah, so see.
Oh, in all caps.
I was trying to type it fast without breaking thing, and there's an A there that's next to the caps lock button. So
I picked the one that is a deep red, and it seems to have like these black tendrils or veins in it, and then as well as some like white flecks, and it actually reminds me of my own getup. So
what is the item? What is the shape? What is it? What is it?
it's a
You know what color
stone.
it is? It's a stone?
Yeah, it kind of looks like a geode without like just the center of it, like not the rock shell that's around it. And it like fits. It's smaller than the palm of my hand, so it's something that I could probably turn into like something that can hang like from a necklace or in a pocket or whatever, stitch into my
Okay.
sleeping tiger, whatever I want to do.
All right. Yeah.
Ooh.
So you
As I'm thinking about it, I think I'm going to stitch it into the sleeping tiger, because then anyone looking for my spell focus can't see the aura through something solid necessarily. So
So clothing does not generally block auras. It's
then I eat it. I swallow. No.
yes.
Time to boof.
It's one of those. It's one of those things where like it's been argued on the Shadowrun forums like constantly, especially like full body armor where you like have a helmet and everything. Like, does that block your aura? And everyone's like, game balance stuff. Some aura spatial penetration or something like that.
At
Where
least if it's stitched in, like they have to knock me out to get it. Like,
sure, yeah, stealing it would not be easy.
yeah.
So, so that's purchased. Kaida, is there anything you're kind of looking for down there?
I don't really know what I'm looking for. I want to buy some stuff.
So for like the spirit stuff, you can buy a lot of just magical reagents.
Magical what?
Reagents. It's just a little like various little bits and bobs that you need to like summon your spirit, to bind a spirit, or to do like ritual magic, which you don't have. So it's mostly for binding your spirits.
And I can only have one spirit bound, right?
You can have as many spirits bound as you have charisma rating.
My charisma is 7, right?
Yeah, it's pretty high.
Huh. And what can I get?
There's spell formulas here that you can purchase, depending on what.
How does that work? Because Lothan, I'm sorry. How does that work? Because Lothan definitely kept making it seem like it would a lot harder than I'm thinking.
So what's going to happen is you're going to make a roll for Arcana to see if you actually successfully learn the spell once you've kind of studied the formula to see how you do it. It's not really that difficult. It's going to cost it a little bit of your karma. And then also there are foci here as well. There's the same sort of things that Flea got. There's also ones that like increase the power of your spells, that give you additional dice to cast your spells.
And is that like a one-time use thing?
No. Once you have it, you have it. So there's the ones that kind of would make the most sense for you right now are either spell foci, which either can add dice to your spell, or it can allow you to cast a spell that requires concentration and then place it on the focus to hold it for you. And then also spirit foci, which allow you to have more dice when summoning spirits.
Do I have any foci that reduce my drain?
So there are not foci that reduce your drain as it stands now. And I say it that way because once you have initiated and have delved into the deeper secrets of magic, there are meta magics that allow you to improve your drain, and then you can use a meta magic focus that will help with that.
Okay. So right now I want to make the spell stronger.
Okay.
And what can how do I do that?
So what you're going to do is you're going to choose which kind of spell that you're wanting to raise. So is it combat, the detection spells, the health spells, illusion, or manipulation? So like of your spells, which are the ones that you want to really be able to cast?
Well, I guess manipulation, because manipulation is more, it's like an offensive but passive, like it's not going to kill anybody. That's like fleeing and levitate and stuff, right?
Fleeing, levitate, stuff like that.
Yeah, so that way I can like subdue an enemy versus, lightning bolting, yeah. So yeah, something like that, because I've never used magic hands, because in my head I saw Green Lantern magic hands, but the way you described it made me think it wasn't like that.
Yeah, it's not like able to be really big. It's just
Right.
like a hand, right?
So I couldn't
you
like
can go
hold
with
a person still with magic hands.
probably you could. It just have to have a high force of the spell, because the force and everything like that determines the strength of the hand. So if you only do like a little one, like a little bit of force, or you don't roll good enough, it's going to be like a hand that grabs somebody, but it can't hold them. But if you put a lot of force into it, you could potentially.
But like fling and levitate, that would be something that I could use to like hold an enemy still. Like if I levitate somebody in the air and then like suspend them there.
Yes, those are things you can do. It's definitely something that is a contested roll, so they would actually have a roll and try to beat yours, and whoever wins, that's whether or not he levitates.
That's fine. So I'll try. I'll go with it. How much money am I going to be spending here?
So how many points do you want to add? So it's 3,000 per, or 4,000. Sorry, 4,000 per point you want to add to the rolls.
So I'm basically rolling the however many dice I have. So I'll pay the 12. I'll just use the 12 and get 3.
Okay. Yeah, that's perfect.
That's 3 dice. That's a good addition.
Yeah. All right. So with that, he picks out several items for you to kind of look at that would work for this, and you can kind of describe which one you find that appeals to Kaida for that.
There is a small dragon-shaped. It's like this long, but it's got a golden chain around it. But the chain, like when the light changes, like when the light hits it, it kind of looks like opal. You know what I'm saying? Like it kind of looks like
iridescent.
Yeah, it looks like a cross between like opal and gold. And then so does the actual emblem itself. It almost looks like glass or a diamond, but it's blue, right? So when it moves, it's got that iridescent sheen to it. And it looks like a Chinese dragon, though, not like a big winged one. And so it's like that. It's like a necklace. Yeah, so I'm going to get that. That's what I like. And, kind of feels compelled to always love up on the dragons.
Okay.
That's
All
like
right.
my home life aesthetic. Everything is going to be dragons in our new home, and
Go.
My brother asked us what we wanted for Christmas. I was like, nerd shit for the house. And he was like, what does that mean? Shit with dragons on it.
Period.
Right. All right. So, you get that, and Luthan kind of nods. That's all right. I'm surprised you didn't get the swanky combat foci. Most of you youngins like to do all the flashy, fancy stuff, but utility important.
there's more money to make.
Is this a compliment?
It's a fact. It's a fact that is true, regardless of who it is.
Seems like an
compliment. I feel like it's a compliment. Thank you. You're welcome. Yep. And I caught that you're welcome vibe from that side.
With that, he kind of turns and heads to the back and then looks back at you guys. Anything else?
I got nothing. Hey, remember I still got 0.5 in store credit, bro. And then I turn around and start walking away.
Okay, bye.
Don't die out there.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Appreciate that sentiment.
Yep, I don't expect you'll listen, but um, and then you're gone. Everyone else sees the two awakened members of the group step out of the basement store. Both of them look fairly pleased with themselves.
So, are you guys going to just start glowing and stuff now?
Why don't you piss us off and find out?
What she said.
I'm not trying to fuck around and find out. I'm good.
Right.
It just kind of like sits in the back of the van.
Right. All right. One moment. Kind of checking some of these boxes here for Kaida. So right now, if you do cast those spells, those the dice pool's already there, so it'll already take that into account. You guys will have to spend a little bit of downtime to attune yourselves to your foci so that they work for you. But in terms of like just the game mechanics of what we're playing, that will happen here shortly. So yeah, that is done. Is there anything else you guys want to do here?
Not at this
No.
location for me. I think we're good.
Can we take some of this beer in a to-go cup? How are the laws about drinking and driving or
Well, you're
open
not-
containers in Darcy?
The bartender just kind of rolls his eyes and reaches down and grabs just a big, like a stack of like 4 or 5 like hard styrofoam cups. You know, they're not meant to be kept, but they are a little more durable than just a standard styrofoam cup. And he just like sets it down. I don't care.
Oh, well then can I get a couple to go?
He takes a couple of the big styrofoam cups and then he fills them with whatever it is that they've got there on tap, and there you go, bud.
Oh, why, thank you. And he like sends over a couple extra New Yen as a tip. It's like, why,
Mm-hmm.
thank you, my
Shit,
friend.
bring your own cup if you want. I don't care.
All right. So where are we off to now? He's kind of like holding a couple. He's kind of like two-fisting his beers, and he's kind of like sipping from a straw.
We have nowhere else to be until tomorrow. So
Let's go dancing.
Okay.
Oh wait.
Where are we supposed to be meeting Sarah tomorrow?
I think same place. She had said the Milwaukee, right?
She said she would call. Actually,
Oh, okay.
I think.
Okay,
Maybe go
well,
to the collective and spend some of this money that's burning holes in our pockets.
Burning it in yours and in your liver.
Yeah, I mean, I got an extra one. It's fine. Thanks for your concern.
All right.
I mean, I don't. I would have to do research for stuff, so I don't know. I doubt they would have it there, but they can order. Yeah, let's
You don't have like an Amazon 4.0 like wish list.
probably, but not at the Makers Collective.
Oh,
All right. So with that, you head out, kind of deciding where exactly you want to go and what exactly you want to do. With that, we're going to go ahead and take our 10-minute break. It just seems like a good time to do it, even though it's a little early because we are definitely between things. So I don't want to like get geared up into something else and then suddenly stop. So we're going to take our 10 and be back and figure out what else these folks want to do, how everything turns out with Sarah Silverleaf, and yeah. So stay tuned. Thank you. Hey, everybody, we are back. So before the break, everyone was leaving Miller's Pub in the Loop of Chicago, where they brought Lothan's focus back to him in exchange for credit in his store, which they promptly spent on a couple of shiny new foci, new for them. And then they also had Maggie Goldberg come over and showed her the data that they collected that she wanted, which she graciously took and paid them the full amount that they offered them. They still haven't settled with Sarah Silverleaf, and that's going to happen the next day as they leave from Miller's Pub. It's sort of late, and I think that they have agreed that probably what they're going to do is just kind of turn in for the evening and then kind of see what the next day holds. Gertrude is going to end up dropping off Etienne and Satchel, I think, because you're still staying over that in the triangle where the Desolation Angels are.
No, I think Satchel was somewhere else.
Or did you move?
Yeah, I have I moved to Milwaukee Ave.
Okay. So that was you and
Kaida lives near Etienne, I believe.
Yes. Okay. So that's who. So yeah, Kaida. So Kaida and Etienne are the first to be dropped off over at the triangle where the Desolation Angels are.
Kaida, or I thought you just said Satchel.
I was, one of you had moved away and one of you had gotten a house nearby, and so that's what we were just discussing. So that was Kaida, that's kind of nearby. As you step off, and Gertrude and Darcy kind of drive away, you're heading towards your respective locations, just up the street towards the garage. You do see some of the angels are out. They're just kind of making sure that nothing crazy is going on as you're walking over. They kind of give you that's sort of the nod, of hey, we see you. It's out here tonight. You do see Socks, who is who's a Hispanic dwarf, and I believe Kaisi as well.
Etienne is gonna turns to Kaida and go like, "You want to come to the garage? There's a game coming on soon because time zones and stuff. I was gonna watch it and probably invite whomever around to come. I got some cold brews in the fridge and everything."
So inner workings of Kaida's brain is like, I don't like sports. What makes this guy think I like sports? But then the other half is like, but he's clearly trying to make a connection. So then what shall we do? So Kaida says, sure. But he says it just like that.
Like, you don't have to. It's just like, my team's playing tonight, so I like to have people around and not just get drunk by myself and getting at the thread screen.
And then
I'll do it anyway, but
sorry. When he mentions getting drunk by himself, Kaida grabs his left shoulder and gets really close and says, "That's the best kind of drunk."
Oh, is it? I mean, I like doing it to people, but okay.
I mean, I'll get drunk with you, but at some point tonight, you most likely will be drunk and by yourself. So
yeah, no, that's that's fine. It's just let's see if anyone around wants to go and watch the game. Right.
So okay, cool. That sounds like a plan. I like games. What kind of game is this?
It's hockey.
Hockey.
Yeah, the stick in the puck in the ice. Yeah, hockey.
A stick in the ice. Kaida has no idea what he's talking about. Okay.
You can move
I
the
know what
clock
hockey
around.
is. Kaida doesn't know what hockey is.
Yeah.
I'm glad you had to make that distinction.
You
I
know,
figured.
Yeah. Sure. Hockey sounds great. Okay. I got it. So then I leave and I go to find people to watch the game.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Understood.
like I said, Sox and Kaisi are kind of out front doing their thing as the two of you, I guess, approach. Hi, Lapel. How's everything? This is Kaisi.
Right.
Are these the Desolation Angels?
They are Desolation. Yes, they are the Desolation Angels. They are. Let's. Here's Kaisi and Sox. So here comes the push. Do 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 do. So yeah, Sox is a dwarf. Kaisi is the orc. Sox, I believe, is the one who drove you to the pizza place the very first game, and
Not me.
and then Kaisi's kind of always around. Yeah, not you. So hey, Lapel, says Kaisi. She's kind of um, just standing like loose in front of the shelter where they kind of just generally stay in that doorway area to just keep an eye on things. You guys were out doing some work today.
Yeah. Just got back from work, and well, we were gonna hang out in the garage, and play the game that's going on tonight. The Abs are playing the Leafs, so I kind of have to watch it. So
The what is the who?
hockey, like this.
Okay,
It's
hockey.
like
Yeah. I mean, I don't follow it, so I don't know like who you're talking about. The teams.
didn't expect like many people around to do so, but I just wanted to invite you and anyone who's like available right now to come and join us. Get beer.
And then Kaida just says, "Hey, there's free beer."
I mean, yeah, limited amount, but
I mean, yeah. What I mean, I was wondering what the teams were, though you said them. I just don't know the teams. So like, what cities are they from, or because that's how they do it, right? It's like a city league thing, like
yeah,
cities.
it's Montreal and Toronto.
Montreal, and you're from Montreal.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, yeah. So okay, yeah, I'm gonna be done with the shift here in just a few minutes, probably like 15 minutes or so. And yeah, I'll come by. I'll see if anyone else wants to come by as well.
Be great.
Yeah, awesome, great, thanks. See you guys later. And then as you guys head off, the dwarf just seems not interested. But yeah.
All right.
So you head in the garage, and what's your setup in there?
I mean, there's not much of a setup. There's a TRID projector that he uses for like plans and stuff, and he has like crappy chairs that are all like folding chairs that are all dented, and most of them are mostly broken. You just spread them out, and puts on the TRIDs and takes out like 6 packs of beers from the fridge and put them on counters and stuff. Put like an old carpet over oil spot just so people don't slip on it, and
Okay. Yeah. So you get everything. You kind of pull all the chairs out. Get the make sure there's enough beer stocked in your fridge, and
he goes and puts on his own jersey.
right, puts on a jersey and gets the game going. It's a little bit into the game when you start, but you definitely are in the first quarter.
Period. Yeah, quarter. Yeah.
First period, quarter, period, half, section, round, turn of the hockey game. And yeah, after a few moments, there's a knock on the door.
And he's like, he's like hypnotized by the game. So he's like, Kaida, can you get that?
You want me to get your door in your house?
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. All right. And he gets up and he's still looking at the thread and he's going at the door and he's like, oh, shut up. He's like yelling stuff at the thread and he's opening doors. Like, come in, started. Just basically left the door half open and goes back to his seat and his beer.
All right. So yeah, opening the door, you see there's Kaizi. You also see Tal, and then kind of hovering behind them is Tasha, the younger one. It's pretty late, but what does that mean in the zone? Apparently. So yeah, they kind of go in. Talon looks over and sees Kaida. Hey, what's up?
Talon, how are you?
I'm good. What about you?
No. No one's ever asked me that before. But at the moment, I am kind of confused at this game that's happening. They keep fighting. But I thought this was not a game about fighting. But every 5 seconds, they're fighting. So I'm lost.
Yeah, there's a lot of contact in it. People get pissed off. I think it's one of the reasons why everyone likes it so much. I don't know. It's no urban brawl, we try to catch that when we can. For those of you in the audience and those of you who are newer to the game, urban brawl is a sport in which teams from cities, so they're named just like our football team franchises are. The league will cordon off a block of some city, usually not the nice parts of the city, and then these two teams will basically have a gun battle in the streets, and that's televised, and it's a good time for everyone. And that's
Except for
probably
people that
the
get
most popular
killed.
sport in the world. Yeah, you're not supposed to get killed. It's supposed to be non-lethal munitions generally.
Okay.
But accidents happen. Yeah, it's and of course amongst a lot of people it is very controversial because they do things like just roll up into people's neighborhoods and start having gun battles, and people don't like that, but they're sinless. Nobody cares about them.
Right.
So
Okay.
yeah, so she basically like, yeah, I prefer urban brawl. Is because it's like you said, if they're gonna get into a fight every couple minutes, I mean, might as well just go all out, right?
I mean, I just didn't think this was boxing.
Yeah,
What was the other sport that you said, Danny? I didn't hear the name
brawl.
of it. Urban brawl. Yeah,
Urban
okay.
brawl.
But I mean, it's entertaining. They skate well.
Yeah, I mean, they do skate well. That's probably a really important skill for them to have. So
Right,
I imagine that's a basic sort of skill. So yeah, they skate well. And also they are all wearing matching colors.
Yes, I noticed. Do you all want free beer?
I'm gonna take a beer. Kazi, you want a beer? And then they go up. Talon heads over to the refrigerator to grab a beer. I like the Detroit Nightmares. They're my favorite team. It used to be it would have been the Sensations, but they kind of aren't really, doing it so much anymore. The Exterminators are. You would think I would like the Exterminators, but they're it kind of like showcases like the difference between how we're living here and how everything is up near the airport up in the Northeast, because they've got a lot of money and stuff. So we don't really like the Exterminators here. But Detroit Nightmares, that's my favorite team. Do you have a favorite Urban Brawl team?
Urban Brawl team. Oh, as far as me, when you're from Atlanta, it is like a rule that you must support everything Atlanta. They'll kick you out of the city.
So the Butchers are your favorite team?
Yes, the
Oh.
Butchers. Usually, it's actually really interesting because usually all of our teams are named after birds. So I thought it was kind of weird that other than our baseball team, but we had a hockey team. I looked it up on the what's it called? What's that thing? The Matrix. And we had a hockey team back in like 2000. I know, that long ago.
Like 70 years ago, 2000?
Actually, yes.
Yeah, the Trashers, he says as he's...
Thrash, not trash, thrash.
Trashers.
Trash.
The Atlanta Trash? What?
No. There's a...
The Thrash Thrasher,
yes,
that makes more sense.
Yes, because otherwise it's a whole different thing.
Yeah. So the Butchers this year, they're doing pretty good. I don't think they're gonna make it to the world finals though. I think that North American representation is probably coming from I want to say the Nightmares, but it's probably not going to be them either, honestly. The Screamers are it's always them though.
Man, these
From
names are
Seattle. Well, it's Urban Brawl. It's an intense game.
Yes, I gather. I guess since my life is an Urban Brawl, that was a joke.
I get it. It's like my life's kind of Urban Brawl too.
Right. But your life is actually an Urban Brawl, and not mine.
Oh, yeah. It kind of is.
Yeah.
It's better lately, I guess. Did you know that they're gonna open a new clinic down south?
In Atlanta?
They found this. No, not in Atlanta. I don't. It's south in where they're over closer to the loop where the they found a place. It's big, and there are some folks that were there, and they're gonna do guarding stuff and work together to have like another community clinic down there.
Hear an interesting story. I sacrificed my life for that clinic to be built.
Oh, that was why you got hit with the axe. It was from one of the guards.
And then he very proudly shows his wound. I know, right?
Yeah, I know.
That is.
I came and saw you up there. You were yeah. I know. I saw it. I personally would just rather not get like hit with an axe. But if I did get hit with an axe, I would be proud of my scar too. That seems really cool. You could probably, if like you had like a scar like that, that would probably get you in on an Urban Brawl team pretty quick.
Oh no, I'm good. I don't have hands unless they're magic hands, which is not like magic fingers. I mean spirit fingers, not like spirit fingers.
Okay. Great. And then, of course, Talon's kind of sitting off to the side with Kaiser. They're watching. Talon's got a bit of a smirk. Kaiser calls Tasha over. Hey, come check out the game. And so they head over that way. Talon gives a nod. Kaiser sits down next to Etienne. So, what's what color? Oh, you're wearing red, so the red is them, huh? That's your team.
Yep.
Are they winning?
You can check down on the screen. You can see the numbers. That's the points they made. Of course, they're winning. Leafs aren't shit, so that's why we gotta crush them. And he's like more animated that they've seen him before. Like he's very laid back and stuff. But that seemed to be one thing that's that he takes to heart.
So Kaiser kind of like nods and says, "Okay." So it looks like the red team's wanting to what is your team called?
Montreal's Canadians.
Scanadians?
Canadians.
Canate. So the name of the team is just Canadians.
Oh yeah.
But aren't like the people from Toronto kind of Canadians too?
Not anymore. They're part of the UCAS. So anyway, that was before all of that, and they didn't want to change the names.
But the C and CAS is UCAS is never mind. Okay. I just thought they were all Canadians up there. Obviously, I'm wrong. My bad. Sorry. But okay, so the Canadians looks like they're pushing the ball. It's not a ball.
It's a puck. And he's like, and he shuffles in his stuff, and he has one hockey puck, and he's like, it's that kind of thing. It's kind of heavy rubber, and he bounces it on the floor.
Okay. Great. So they're trying to get in the net, and the more times they get in the net, then that's how they win, right?
That's exactly. Yeah, you got it. And he starts yelling at the thread again.
As he does that, Tasha's like, "Yeah, you don't do that. That sucks, you guys." And then she's kind of just trying to be excited with Etienne, because it's definitely not something she's seen from him, and it's kind of like infecting her a bit to just she doesn't even know what's going on. But when Etienne gets upset, she gets upset. When Etienne cheers, she cheers. And Kaisi just kind of watches quietly. She's fairly reserved. And the night kind of goes on. Eventually, the beer does run out, but everybody is now either involved in the game or have left. I don't know how long Kaida is staying. There's some conversation that occurs between Tala and Kaida, but nothing like earth shaking, just mostly like small talk. And unless there's anything else going on for you guys, we will see who got dropped off next and what happens with them.
No, I think that's good.
All right. Yeah, so the next person to get dropped off several hours earlier now at this time is Satchel near the collective.
Thanks for the ride, Gertie.
Well, of course.
And Satchel just gets out of the van and starts sending a text to Dr. Tate as he goes up into his apartment, just trying to see if he has any availabilities for surgeries coming up.
Okay. Yeah, so you're sending
You said it's late, right?
It is late.
Yeah.
So you're sending a text saying, "Hey, wanted to come in, get some work done," and yeah, you get sort of an automated response back from the comm link, and it basically just says, hours are this, yada yada that, and your message will be responded to in the morning. But as you are kind of walking up, you do see a couple of people that are moving sort of awkwardly through the neighborhood streets. There's two of them, and they don't look like they're being furtive or hiding. They're just kind of like it seems awkward the way they're moving, and it's about a block up.
Does it look like I recognize either of them or anything like that?
Go ahead and make a perception test. It is dark. There's not a lot of streetlights around here, and they're far enough away. So you have low light vision, right?
Yes, I do.
All right, so that's going to mitigate down to a -1. So visual perception test, -1.
Mhm. And minus. Then.
And then we wait for a year or two for your dice rolls to come through.
Yeah.
Good times, everybody. Good
Yeah,
times.
I'm so sorry about this.
No, just fine. You're fine. Well,
Do you want to just roll it for me? -1.
I'm going to.
Oh.
I'm heading over to
There it
character
goes.
sheet, but here we are. Yeah, you do recognize them. As a matter of fact, let's go back to grabbing them for you. Oops. There we go. Make sure I can push these. I do wish there was an easier way to push these out. So these are two members of the so-called dangerous crew. They're a kind of wannabe gang that chills out in the Maker Collective. And it looks like the orc is kind of like struggling to help the human male. Kind of, they're coming up the street from the south and cutting kind of catty corner towards the collective itself. But he's definitely, he looks hurt, and she's trying to kind of carry him in.
How long has it been since Gertrude has dropped me off?
Not you haven't even got to your space yet. Maybe 2-3 minutes.
So I get back on the comm and then kind of call for Gertrude. Like, it looks like there's someone hurt. If you're not too far away, can you come back and help?
Yeah, if that's okay with Flea, if we make a little detour.
I'm in no rush. We can head back.
All right. So as it's going to take probably 3 to 5 minutes for them to get back. Chris, what?
I kind of like approach them. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Is everybody okay?
Fuck. Who's that? I can't.
It's me, Satchel.
Oh yeah. Fuck. It's not Brick. It's Brick got shot, and the others are still down south. We managed to kind of get out of there. So yeah. I'm trying to just get back to the collective and maybe figure out what to do next.
And he's trying to rack his brain, trying to remember like how Gertrude acts when people are hurt and whatnot. He's kind of like fumbling through his pack, and he realizes he has like a med patch in his bag. He's like, just lay down.
All right. So is this a med kit or a trauma patch or what? What are you looking at?
I have one of both. So which would be the better to use in this situation? I'm not sure.
So because he doesn't look like he's like in danger of dying right away, the trauma patch would be no bueno, because that can actually kill people. It just when they're gonna die anyway, it's a risk worth taking.
Okay.
And then the med kit. But the thing is once you've done a med kit test, you're going to block anyone else from doing same kind of test. So like,
okay.
if you didn't do a good job, it's just like your not good job hinders the next person from doing a good job, right?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to make sure he gets down, and I'm just kind of like put my hands on him, You know, like,
Okay.
I got an ambulance on the way, and then like Gertrude, she's like really handy with this. She has so many band-aids. Like
Um.
we'll patch you right up.
Okay. Yeah. I just, and he kind of clutches his side, and you see that there's that the clothes are torn. He's definitely got a bullet wound there. And Sheila just looks up and she's like, "Yeah, we were just down there scavenging, and they jumped us. There was like more than 10 of them. Um,
Like 10 of them. Like where were they? Like where were you guys?
this is closer. Man, it was like hours ago at this point. Closer down by like Midway almost. I don't know
Yeah.
who it was. I don't know who it was. But they were it, they were all just humans. No orcs or trolls or dwarves or anything. So I think it was like I think it was like those the racist gangs down south. Um,
Oh, the racist gangs. Can I take like a Chicago gangs test to see if I know what gang she's talking about?
you can make a Chicago gangs test to determine what you know about some so-called racist gangs in Chicago. Here we go.
And then yeah, here we are. Now we play the waiting game.
It'll happen eventually.
Yeah.
All right.
So you got jumped by like 10 of them?
More than 10. And there was just the four of us. I was going to try and come back and grab Larry and see what he thought we should do. Because they got blue, they've got pink. Fucking stupid name. Anyway, but yeah, oh, I mean, we got to do something because they're gonna, like maybe blue gets a pass, but I mean, Pink's an elf. They're probably gonna fuck with her hard. Yeah, so there's this human supremacist gang ties to Humanus. It's called the Human Brigade. So they're not very subtle, and it's a very large gang that operates in the area kind of southwest of Midway. And so they claim their territory to kind of butt up against Midway, and then south and to the west of that is where they kind of are. But yeah, so that's kind of what you know about what's down there. And there may be like subdivisions of the gang, but for the most part, everyone just kind of sees them as the Human Brigade. A very, very anti-magic, anti-meta-human group.
So yeah, I like we should probably get out of the street, and so tell Brick to get up, and then
I don't know if I can get. And then you see, you hear the vehicle coming down the street, and you see Gertrude kind of turn the corner.
oh, the cavalry's here.
Oh man, this really sucks. I hope that she's got something that'll.
Dude, she's got everything. She's got at least 321 bandages. Like she's got these little like butterfly dealies. She's got like this vat in the back, and it goes like and buttons. She's got everything.
Sheila looks over and goes, "She has how many bandages?"
321. I literally counted.
Cool, awesome. That's super whiz. I'm glad she's here. And as you pull up, you do see the three figures in the street. One is prone on the ground. The other two are kind of kneeling next to it. How does this play out for Darcy, Gertrude, and Flea?
Are they coming up in front of me or from behind?
You're kind of off to the side, so it's somewhat behind. just because of the way you're ducked under.
So I just kind of like look behind. I'm just like waving over here.
So Gertrude will pull up and basically do a turn, so the back of the ambulance is pointing towards where they are in the street, so we can open the back doors and get him into the van.
All right.
If it looks like he can be moved.
And I'll jump out with my pistol drawn and kind of looking up and down the street, because if someone's been hurt, there's something caused that hurt, even though I don't have any details. So I'll just kind of cover the scene.
Yeah. So yeah, you easily do that. You pull the door open. Satchel and Sheila both are able to get Brick into the Valkyrie unit and get everything sort of closed up. Are you gonna take him to a clinic or something? I mean, it's I don't know if he needs anything more. I don't know. I just know he got shot. So, but I gotta find Larry and let him know what happened. So, just I'll see you later at Satchel. Just let me know what just come in and just let us know how Rick is. Yeah.
He's
And
in
then
good
she's
hands.
like already kind of skipping away as she's saying this, like, and then she kind of turns and starts running towards the collective.
Yeah, apparently some group called like Humanists or whatnot did this to him. Like she was saying something about them being a racist gang.
Cool.
You're correct. They are racist jerks.
Day's always
terms-
better with Humanus.
You got anything that like maybe can make this turn into like clouds?
I'll turn on the Valkyrie module there.
Okay. It does a quick assessment, and you know the whole thing kind of closes up, so he's encased inside, and then there's ways for you to kind of manipulate within, and it just kind of there's like I'm gonna say like a sedative gas that kind of rolls through it to kind of put him out. The readings show that he's lost a lot of blood, and is in danger of becoming unstable, but right now he's stable. So like if he was able to get that sort of treatment now or really quickly, he'll probably just be just fine.
So we should probably take him to the closest clinic or hospital or somewhere he's going to need some blood. And that's not something I can really do. I can keep him stable, but I can't give him transfusions here.
All right, let's hit the gas.
All right.
I mean, not all the gas, but yeah, gas.
Put on your seatbelt.
With that, you cruise through, and there's the clinic that is now that you are outside of the containment zone, you're actually able to find a clinic nearby that isn't one of one of the clinics that's being set up by Dr. Tate, and it does have a sort of an entry, like a place to kind of come through with your ambulance. And as you kind of pull this individual out on the gurney and bring them in, they're looking over like, okay, what do we got here? Gunshot to the abdomen, left side. And they look at for a moment, and then they just kind of look over at you guys. So I'm not registering a sin here.
I will pass over some cash. I will pass over 1,500 new yen and say, I have found a
Okay,
sin.
paying up front. All right. Yeah, no, I mean, we'll treat sinless. We have to make sure that, we can run the operation. So if you're paying direct, no problem. And yeah, let's get him in here. Okay. And then they take him kind of away from from you guys. Are folks sticking around or are folks leaving?
Satchel, are your friends going to be okay? Or what?
I barely know them. I just know them from the collective, but I just didn't. I just didn't, want to leave them bleeding in the street.
We can check in on them tomorrow.
Makes sense to me.
Is there someone you know that you can let them know where he is, so they're not wondering where their friend disappeared to?
Yeah, Sheila just told me to come let her know what happened, just to come in and let him know if he's all right or not.
Okay.
Right. So with that, you leave Brick in hopefully the very capable hands of this random clinic and shoot back to the Maker Collective where you're able to drop off Satchel. The clinic, the Maker Collective itself is the side doors open. That's the door that they usually use. And you find Larry and Sheila in there. Oh, hey, how is he? Is he going to be okay?
So far so good. Like from what I can glean from what the Valkyrie module was spitting out, he seemed to be stable, and that he was going to be fine if we got him to a clinic, which we did. We got him down to this clinic down the street, and yeah, they're working on him right now, and we're going to go check on him in the morning.
Oh, okay. Yeah, great. Yeah. So, Larry looks over and he's just kind of like, thanks for that. We're gonna have to figure out how to pick up Blue and Pink, but at least Brick's gonna be okay.
So what do you think Blue and Pink are?
Hard to say. Dead in a ditch at this point. Took him back to a clubhouse or something. I don't know. We'll try to figure it out. Sucks.
Yeah, that does. Do you need any help?
I mean, yeah. They're just kids, that run around and just find random dreck and haul it in. They're not, they act tough, but they're not. They're just kids. So we don't really have the means to do anything big about it, right? Maybe we'll get lucky.
Like, if you have any kind of information on where they might be, or any leads onto how to find them, I'll look into it.
It's the human brigade. I mean, you'll have to figure that out. I'd have to figure that out. I don't know. Whatever rumors we hear. If you're willing to help, I guess we'll let you know if we hear anything.
I'm definitely willing to help.
Great. Appreciate that. There's nothing for us to do now, but catch some winks and make sure Brick's fine in the morning. So.
Rest easy. I'll catch up with you in the morning.
All right. Right then. Satchel then exits and heads to bed. About this time, you're arriving at Flea's home, and yeah, there it is, your dojo home. Anything else on the drive? Anything you're talking about, or anything else going on? Push to talk.
I'm pretty quiet. I think it's been a long day. It's late. So I just kind of sit and enjoy the peace and company.
All right, and the music.
Always the music.
So yeah, it's an uneventful trip the rest of the way to Flea's home, where Gertrude drops you off and then heads back to her own DOS so that she can rest and be up early the next morning for whatever's coming next, whatever you guys have to do with Sarah Silverleaf. And Gertrude arrives home. There's nobody waiting for her. There's no messages apparently. It's a quiet day in the Horde, if you will. And yeah, she's other than that, the night's uneventful unless there's anything in particular she'd like to do.
The only thing that she wants to do is check out Darcy, see where she got scratched up, took a little bit of damage, kind of assess that for planning for repairs in the future.
Okay, yeah, it's mostly superficial. Some epoxy, sandpaper, and paint will mostly fix up any of the damage that she's taken. There's definitely nothing internal or nothing in the frame or anything like that that's been damaged. So it's all kind of in the front. There's a couple of dents you might want to ping out and buff out, but yeah, it's fairly easy.
Everyone needs a hobby.
Yep. All right. And so with that, the night passes, and what time is Flea getting up? Wish to talk?
Push.
I give myself plenty of time to rest and everything, but I spend some time with my new focus and kind of just turning it over and over in my hands and thinking and reflecting on it and trying to like bring it into my thoughts on my training and my philosophies and really try to like bring it into part of my mentality and connect with it.
Okay. Like we say in D&D, you can find a magic item, you sleep with it, it's yours forever. So yeah, you do that. You definitely feel pulled towards this item. It definitely feels it feels almost familiar in your hands, and you do get to the point where you're able to attune yourself to it, and you can use it to sort of lock in magic that has to do with your signature. So that is done. Kaida's doing much the same thing, unless he passed out from the beer.
Are you asking, or was that just a comment?
I don't know. Yeah, it's a comment. It's either way.
Okay.
Like I said, it's not a big deal at this point. So yeah, the next morning, Sarah, Flea has to call Sarah.
Yeah, before I wake anyone else up, I'll call Sarah and see if I can reach her and figure out a meeting place.
All right. Again, the comm goes, and then she picks up. Flea. A little early, but I guess I expect that from you. How's everything? Are you?
We're all clean, decontaminated, all in one piece.
Excellent. Glad to hear that. Where do you want to meet up and what time?
Are you down this way, or are you still in Milwaukee?
Hearing about.
Fair enough. We can meet at the same place. We can meet.
Somewhat
in the city?
closer to the CZ, I think.
Okay. Where's the place that we met Nick Ryder? Wasn't that on the north side?
Yes, that's almost as far north as the other thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I won't recommend that. I'll leave the recommendations to you, Sarah, since I'm still pretty new to town.
Sure. Okay. In that case, why don't we meet up? Um, I do have business in the zone, so perhaps if you want to head over to the pier, we can meet up there.
The pier, like Navy Pier?
Yeah, yeah, Navy Pier. Um,
Neat.
sure. And I'll have a couple of gentlemen with me, so don't be surprised. Whenever I head into the zone, I always um, bring some friends. Um,
I appreciate the warning. Thank you.
sure. And then she hangs up, and then you get a message that says noon with a question mark.
I'll do another thumbs.
Okay. Yeah, so noon, it's early in the morning, unless anyone has anything in particular going to do. I imagine Gertrude's going to muster the troops.
Yeah. Since it's early in the morning, Etienne's probably going to be still a little fuzzy from the night before, still wearing his jersey. He's like, yeah, I'll be ready in a few.
As yeah, that's what? Why is my dog running in and out of the room right now? I know why. So yeah,
Does it cost drain to? Does it cost drain to learn a spell?
No, it doesn't. It just takes a little bit of time to learn one, but
So I can't learn it right now.
Yeah, you wouldn't learn it right away. You could start, and there's a roll you can make, and it is possible to learn it quickly, but it's not likely that you're going to learn it quickly. So
I would like to initiate whatever process that would be.
All right, give me a second, please.
Okay.
Gotta deal with some puppies here. So I guess what I'll do in the meantime is after I talk to Sarah, I'll ping each of you guys and say meeting at Navy Pier at noon to talk with Sarah. No worries, she's bringing some backup anytime you go anywhere in the zone. That makes sense. But Etienne, make sure you're on watch of the Matrix, so we don't lose our data without getting paid.
Yeah, I'll make sure I'm ready for that. It makes sense that she's bringing people with her, but still bring your gear. You never know if she's not happy with what she finds. Things might turn sour.
Yeah, it's good to always be ready. I'm not anticipating trouble though.
Okay, I figured out the dog. My wife has gone into the bathroom and closed the door, and the dog can't get to her.
How dare she?
How dare
Dun,
she?
dun,
Yes.
dun.
How
Sachi!
dare she? Yes. Okay. All right. So I kind of got that you were talking and planning something. So
Yeah, I just let them know when and where we're meeting and that Sarah's got backup, but that's okay. And have Etienne watch the Matrix to make sure we don't lose data without gaining pay.
don't lose data without gaining pay. Makes sense to me. All right. What? Like she's really squirrely right now. Probably has to go out, but I'll take you when.
Oh,
she
why don't we
does.
take another 5-minute break?
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
Sounds
Quick
good.
break. I'll take this dog out. All right, be right back.
All right, thank you. We'll be back soon, guys.
Hey everybody, welcome back. I am back. Sometimes the dog just needs to go, and that was her letting me know that she needed to head outside and take care of business, and she took care of business. So thanks to all of you for waiting. Okay, so yeah, let me bring myself back in. We are heading towards Navy Pier. We're going to collect all the folks and head out that way. Is anybody trying to get anything else accomplished in the morning before heading to Yield Navy Pier?
If there's time beforehand or before I go pick everyone up to swing by and check on Brick.
Sure. So since that clinic is outside of the zone and is actually on the way to picking up Flea, it's as you arrive there, you park and head inside, and the nurse at the desk looks up. Yes, ma'am. Can I help you?
I brought in a friend last night. Gunshot wound to the abdomen.
Okay. She's.
It was pretty late when we came in, and I think they took him back to surgery pretty quick. And I was hoping to check on him.
Yeah. Let me see. Looks like this was a upfront payment. And yeah, he was actually discharged a couple of hours ago. They patched him up. Seems everything was good. A little bit of blood, and I think that the upfront payment covered everything. It looks like they gave him 272 million back.
Okay.
But yeah, so sorry he's not here.
No, that's great news. I'm glad that that he was able to leave earlier. Thank you so much.
Sure thing. Have a nice day.
I will share that with Satchel when I see him.
Yeah, so picking up Flea, picking up Satchel. Anything Satchel's doing that morning before you get picked up?
That morning, he's just kind of swinging around his stun baton and his cane in tandem, trying to figure out how to work these two things out. They're like, because the stun baton's new and awkward for him.
And if you touch yourself with it, that's
I know,
just that little bit. Yeah, you have to practice. Yeah, so you get picked up and then over to the others where Etienne and Kaida are also grabbed up, and you shoot over to Old Navy Pier. So Chicago's Navy Pier is a mainstay of Chicago's sort of tourism, and it's a real place. The big old Ferris wheel. 1916 was when it was built, right? And then 95 refurbished and became a big tourist attraction. Ferris wheel. They have a movie theater there, and like there's fireworks every weekend in the winter, I think.
Bubba Gump shrimp.
There's a Bubba Gump shrimp, if I recall. Yep. So, but at present, the Navy Pier Mall is no longer all of those things. It is mostly a residential warehouse for the union-sponsored workers. So there's a gang, if you will, called the Union, and they kind of run the waterworks that are nearby. And then also like a lot of the employees of some of the sort of corporations, if you will, that operate within the zone. Some of those folks live there as well. Community hub for a lot of people, running water, electricity, and sort of relatively safe haven for the residents there. As you kind of pull into the parking lot, Flea gets a message on her comm. It says, pull into the north side of the parking lot. You'll see us there.
I look at Gertrude and go and nod over and go north side.
Gertrude nods and does the thing.
The thing is done. All right, so as you head up to the north parking lot, you do notice that it is empty, except for a singular, very long Mitsubishi Night Sky. I mean, it's the north part of the zone, but still, that's a hell of a car to be driving into the zone. It's the only car there, though.
I'll give you. I'll give you one guess.
And the first one doesn't count.
Not ramming this car, right?
Please don't.
Right. Just pulling up like we're normal.
All right. So you do pull up next to this night sky. The area between the two vehicles, that's the side that the door in the back of the night sky opens. For those who don't know, a Mitsubishi Night Sky is an armored limousine. It's very, very high end. So yeah.
I got money on Darcy.
So the door opens, and you see legs, very nice legs inside the car, and then after a few moments, another text or come on over.
All right.
Satchel leaps out of the van.
I'll more subtly head over. I know my team's got me, so I'm okay walking up to the scary car.
All right, so Satchel is just bumbling into the van, into the back of the night sky there. It's a very large and spacious passenger compartment. You see Sarah is sitting in the back seat, so that's and then that's kind of near where the door opens, so that's where her legs are. There's a side bench. There's the rear facing seats that are up at the front. Hello, Mr. Satchel, was it?
Hey, Miss Silverman, how are you doing today?
Silverleaf. Please
Ooh,
avail yourself
sorry.
of the bar. And hello, Flea. Please come in. My men are in the front, the driver and on the passenger side. So they are here to make sure nothing goes awry. And I'm sure nothing will, but you never know in the containment zone.
Understood. And I slide in. I try to place myself like between her and Satchel. So
And Satchel's kind of like rummaging through the drink. He's like, you want something, Flea?
I'm good, Satchel.
Well, I assume you have some manner of device that I can look at that will show me what exactly you have.
I take the drive out and hand it over.
Tim would maybe have hand you a comlink of his own to have her check the information on it without being able to copy it, because she
Fair
might
enough.
not be true to.
Here's that. I don't want it.
Oh, okay. I'm just going to take it. That sounds right, but that's not what we want there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, she takes the comlink and she just is manually controlling it. Looks kind of at the back and takes a little napkin and wipes the back of it, something off the back, and then, and then she goes.
I mean, he works on cars, so it's okay. It's just grease.
just something.
He's a good dude. He's not dirty.
I'm sure it's fine. Okay, so that and that and that and. She hands the comlink back. So I do want the information that's on the chip. However, as you will know, Miss Flea, that Not all things are said in every meeting, and the job was for the node. Um, and while your understanding was that what I needed from the node is being supplied, unfortunately, there are other things that we were looking for as well. That said, the data is worth something to us, and I am willing to put forward half the payment promised.
I leave a line open on my like mic transmission thing, and wait to I just kind of pause and wait to hear any like reaction from the team in the van.
So the original offer was 5,000, of course. So half of that is 2,500 each.
Etienne says, like, I'm okay with that as long as they don't try to geek us. Garrus. Anyone else has something to say?
I like money.
That's just kind of drinking, hyper aware that he's literally right in front of her, so he's not going to actually say anything.
If you think that that's fair,
I'll blink twice.
I consider, and considering we really did avoid a fight, it was a pretty simple mission, all things considered. So I'll kind of pause, and then I think that's fair.
Excellent. I'm glad you agree. So in that case, she turns to the console, opens it up, pulls out a platinum cred stick, slides it over. Check that if you wish. Otherwise, perhaps just maybe leave the comm link or however you want to do it.
I wait for Etienne to confirm that that's okay.
Yeah, it's a piece of crap. She can keep it. And there.
All right. I nod at her.
Check the chip before.
I plug the chip into my comm link and open it up just to double check.
Okay. So you do check to see if the money's there. The money is all there.
All right. And I go, Sarah, I hope next time you call, we're able to do the full job, and I'm looking forward to working with you again.
Yes, I hope that.
As am I. And he kind of just lingers in the back of the.
She looks at, and he's got like the decanter in his hand and the little tumbler, and he's like, just take it.
And he slides out the back.
It's like a really nice crystal decanter. It's like it's.
Ooh.
As we're walking back to the van, I slap Satchel on the back and I go, I think she likes you.
Ooh, really?
Don't do that to him. Awesome. I love it. All right, great. Yeah, so that went off fairly well. And as you get in, the night sky starts to pull forward and eventually leaves the parking lot and heads as far as you can tell southwest, which is further into the zone. So good luck with that fancy limousine.
Etienne is gonna look at Flea and is like, do you mind if I have a look at your comlink just to make sure, like, you plugged in the chip in there that she gave you? I'm just, call me paranoid, but I'm really suspicious of her. So I just want to make sure that
I hand it over.
It's gonna just matrix perception it to make sure like she didn't leave whatever device or program you can leave on a comlink.
Yeah, definitely you can look at that.
Here, you want to try some of this, Kaida? He's like swirling the, what is it, brandy or whatever, laser brandy or whatever it is in the future.
Laser brandy.
It's a really high-end scotch.
Okay.
I don't know if Patrick knows
Does it taste like free beer?
It tastes even better. It tastes like burning and machismo. Here, taste this.
Did you just make a Ralph Wiggum? It tastes like burning.
That's funny. Kaida, he said, if it's better, there's nothing better than free beer. And so he swirls it a little bit. Is it a sip or a chug?
How about a gulp?
Okay. Oh my God.
This is the life.
God. Yes.
Getting money,
The burning.
talking to beautiful women, drinking brandy, scotch out of crystal decanters. That's what all these movie dudes are about, right?
Yeah. So
should we be drinking scotch right now?
it's very
like
dry,
6 o'clock in the
actually.
morning.
So it's so sipping from it, it's got a very dry feel to it. Very the flavors in it are subtle, so mostly it tastes like burning for the for the non-distinguished palate.
Right. Kinda is more of like a beer and a beer and whiskey kind of dude.
That said, I mean, it's not like it does that, but it's not like it doesn't then stay with you in this sort of like cheap vodka or whatever. It's just,
he just gulped it.
Like, oh, if he just go.
Yeah, Satchel told him to gulp it, so he gulped it. So
Chris is not a pleb. Satchel's never come across this before.
Right. And for some reason, neither has Kaida. Kaida's like, I've heard of scotch. Of course, I know what scotch is, but so right now Kaida's feeling good, but he's trying to hide it from everybody else.
Okay. Yeah, so it's there you are. Just like this is like a couple $100 a bottle, he's like
he told me to gulp it. Kind of trust Satchel a lot.
At this point, what is everybody's sort of plan here? You've got paid. There's sort of the mystery of what happened the night before, and other than that, I mean,
what do you mean by the mystery?
What happened with Satchel?
I feel the other two. Yeah, I feel the other two in on what happened the night before, because they were drinking and watching hockey while we were doing triage in the streets. I mean, no big deal. No big deal. You mean spend your days off how you will. I mean, but we saved a life.
That is how I spend my days off, though.
But you told Kaida this after he gulped the scotch or before?
After.
After.
Because you didn't tell him before.
So just prepare. You're going to have to tell the story. I'm just playing You're going to have to tell it again.
So there might be. So there is some racist gangs. So the transhumanist or humanists.
They don't like humans?
So
no, they don't,
humanist
they don't
is
like
a word
Reddit.
that is super familiar to Kaida, because humanist is so think of humanist. It's a poly club, is what they call it. So think of humanist as like a political party that is it would be like if the far right of the GOP was their own political party and actually had clout, as opposed to trying to like fold in under the entire the entire right. Right. Yeah. So it's basically metahumans bad, regular humans good. All policies should do everything it can to rid us of the scourge of metahumans. So.
And I'm metahuman.
Yeah, you're an elf. You're not. Yeah, you are not a human. They want to. Um,
Mhm.
Yeah. They would rather you went
Who's a
away.
human in the group? Satchel. Okay. But Etienne,
Etienne?
he's like, one of them is a bunch of cyborg stuff, right?
That's
Both of
Satchel.
us.
And
That's me.
Etienne is Canadian, so they don't.
Right. But so Etienne's the most. He's the most human.
I'm from La République du Québec. Don't call me Canadian.
So he's
Canadians, though.
We call it the abs now. So it's just,
Goodness. Okay.
but he's also pretty cybered up.
So you encountered some racists last night, Satchel?
No, we encountered some victims of some racists.
Victims of racist. That's weird.
They were they were saying that there was a big gang of them, over 10 or so, that were roaming around south. I believe it was south of Midway.
So what do you
when we
want to
mixed
do?
it up that first time. I'm not necessarily sure if what we are to do. There's a couple of there's a couple of their compatriots that got taken from them that night, and just trying to figure out a way to track them down or what have you. So I'm just waiting for information come from them. I told them that I would help. I mean, you guys don't necessarily have to come with me, obviously. I didn't promise your help, but I definitely love it.
If we're traveling around with a human and a humanoid, I don't know, cyborg. I don't want to be incorrect.
They don't differentiate. If you don't have 40 years, they're okay with you, and if you do, they want to crack your skull. That's
Understood. So I mean, if you want to, and then I lean close to him and say, "I'm always for the smoke, but don't tell Fleet." And then,
I'm literally sitting right here.
then I lean back into Satchel. Man, I got to get that whispering thing down. I don't get it. It's not working for me.
I do like punching racists.
Okay.
And,
Wow.
I'm from
Everybody's just stopped for a second, turns around, and looks at our guy. Oh, she just said she wanted to punch someone.
So I think
business.
if there was ever a time to take a side mission, I'm just throwing it out there in the ether. And me, I'm from Georgia, and ever since 2020, we got rid of the racists back then.
No, you didn't.
It changed from then on, and it stayed that way. After 2020, we were blue, and we stayed blue.
Fingers. Okay.
So, I'm all for the smoke when it comes to this.
All right. So everyone agrees to just try and find the two compatriots. All right. Well, with that, go ahead.
I didn't realize, I was just talking shit. I didn't realize that was an actual plan that we had agreed to.
Well,
Oh yeah, I'm about it.
Yeah. Even Flea hates humanists, so.
Dope.
I said I protect the lives of humans, not monsters.
Don't.
Exactly. I'm down to help people, so fuck these guys.
So basically, Etienne has to get on the matrix to kind of see what kind of chatter there is down there and figure all that out. However,
there's something magically I can do to see.
There are potentially something magic you could do, but we can kind of get into what that would have been. If your sensing skill was a lot better, you can do more with it. But you can also summon a spirit and tell it to find the people as soon as you know who they are. So there are things you can do as well.
Okay.
But it is 9:51, so we're not actually going to go into this now. We are instead going to break for the evening, wish everybody a Merry Christmas, and we are not going to be on next week. We will take a break between Christmas and New Year's, but we will be back on the 5th. So that was a lot of fun, everybody.
Yeah.
Being here. Appreciate the audience. Appreciate Tom, who is running tech and is now used to the way I'm just like throwing things up here left and right, and so he's throwing them onto the screen and making sure that you're seeing what we're seeing, and really appreciate that. Yeah, that's what I got. Anybody got anything they want to contribute?
Check out
This is
our
awesome.
oh go ahead, Chris.
I was just like, oh yeah, this is awesome. Much love. Have a happy holidays, everybody.
Yeah, check out our
And,
Patreon for bonus content. We just dropped in the past week the first Like Clockwork Prelude, which on January 10th we're premiering a new series that takes place in an entirely new world created by Danny, and we're going to be launching a Kickstarter for a graphic series that takes place in this world, and we're also doing this this live action role play, but not a LARP, of live action series of Like Clockwork that takes place in that same world, and the preludes are all our stories before our group meets up together, and it's really cool. So a lot of strong acting, a lot of great storytelling, and a really cool steampunk fantasy world. So check it out on our Patreon at patreon.com/rumalternus.
All right. Well,
Also, I'm sorry.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Thursday, Talk It Out is live again. Danny will be on the panel. We're talking about sexism and the issues surrounding gender inequality. We have every week, every Thursday. We also did an episode of Geeking Out last night, which was about reboots. And it was so much fun. It was ridiculous. Also, if you are a writer, or if you know a writer, or if you're an actor who likes to read for live readings, we have a group called The Writers Room on Facebook. And every week we have a writer who they don't premiere, but they have their work read and gets feedback. And so we are looking for writers and actors to join the group. So follow us on Twitch at Daygamer. Did I say that right? Yeah, DAYGAYMER.
As opposed to Gay Damer.
That's what I was thinking that I said. I said it right, and then I don't know why.
And also on Friday, we're going to do, for those who don't have like a big Christmas events because of the situation, we're going to do right here community game night as we do every week. We're going to hang out with people, play some games, and have some fun. So welcome.
Whether you're feeling lonely or feeling like you need a break from family,
right,
you can
that
come
part.
hang out with ours.
Indeed. Yes.
That part.
This is the situation. All right. Well, again, I really appreciate everybody hanging out with us, and this has been a good time, and we will see you in a couple of weeks. So.
Bye, everyone.